Hello Year 4, and we are going to be learning in our history today about the Roman baths. I know we've mentioned it in our literacy lesson, but we're going to learn a little bit more about them in more detail, because they're not quite like baths we have now. So, our aim of our lesson is to explain what a Roman baths were and to know the different amenities they contain. Those are the different things they have inside them that you can use. Okay, and our success criteria, so you need to achieve these to be successful in this lesson, is I can draw and write about the different features of a Roman bathhouse, and I can tell you what a Roman bathhouse is and who used them. Right, so Roman baths. The Romans loved to keep clean, and bathing was a sociable experience that the Roman people enjoyed sharing together. So if you would like to learn a little bit more or have a little bit more insight into the Roman baths, you can make sure that you're listening to The Paninis of Pompeii story, which is on our frog page, because they actually go to the Roman baths in that story. The Romans also built their baths in countries they conquered and re-established under Roman rule. There are many fine examples of Roman bathhouses in Britain. So this picture here that you can see is actually of a bathhouse in Britain, in a place called Bath, which is in Somerset. I used to go there quite a lot as a child because it's quite near to where I grew up, and it is a spectacular place. As you can see, it's got columns, it's got space for you to walk around the outside, and then in the middle it's got a massive bath, which we would probably now think of as being a swimming pool size. The Romans are well known for their innovative engineering and design skills, and building a bathhouse really showcased their talents. Water was heated by furnaces, which mean fires, which were maintained by slaves, and the hypocaust system used hot air under the floor to distribute the heat to where it was needed. So you can see it's really complicated how they actually designed these bathhouses and kept them warm. The baths were often elaborately decorated with statues and fine mosaics. There were mirrors on the walls, beautiful glass ceilings, and smooth marble-lined pools. If water was not available from natural springs at the site, it had to be brought in using an aqueduct system, which the Romans developed to transfer water from one place to another. So we've also had a look at aqueducts in our literacy, haven't we? So they look like bridges, as you can see, with lots and lots of columns and arches. And on the top of these bridges is a river, which is like a man-made river, which transports water to where it needs to be. So in this case, they would transport the water to the baths. A Roman bath was not just a bath. Roman baths were based on three main bathing experiences. First, the bathers would relax in a warm room called a tepidarium. After that, they would enter the caldarium, which was a hot room designed to make them sweat out dirt. The final, frigidarium bath, was cold and big enough to swim in. So you can see that there's three different types of bathing experiences, and that's an important thing to remember because we will be designing our own Roman baths later, so you need to make sure that you are looking at these three main areas and including those areas in your design. In the caldarium, a tool was used called a strigil, which was used to scrape dirt off the skin. Now that looks a little bit scary to me. But now some people do something called exfoliating, which is also to get dead skin out of your skin. This looks like a bit more extreme because maybe the Romans got a little bit dirtier than we do now. Many Roman baths offered other services too, making the visit to a bathhouse a total spa experience. There was a gymnasium where people could exercise and get fit. So make sure you're taking note of all of these different things you can do because you can add these into your design for your bathhouse. Masseurs were employed to give massages and help soothe aching muscles. They would also rub oil into the skin. Vendors sold food, drink at many stalls. Some baths had separate plunge pools, steam rooms and saunas. Entertainment was often provided for people relaxing before and after bathing. Some of the bigger baths have more than one of each type of room. So you've got entertainment, you've got plunge pools, steam rooms, saunas. There were changing rooms where people could get dressed and undressed. You've also got changing rooms. Bathers might bring their slaves to guard their clothes and carry their towels, or they could pay an attendant a fee to look after their property instead. So you could have attendants standing by, ready to take a fee and look after your property. In the baths, what can you remember about the Roman baths from the information you have read? So obviously we can't work with a partner and compare notes, unfortunately, but we can have a little think about these questions. So how was the water brought to the baths? Can you remember that? If not, go back through the video and listen again. How did the Romans heat the water? So that's something quite early on we spoke about. What was that called, the way they heated the water? What was the name of the 3 main bathing experiences? Because you're going to need to know that for when you do your design. And what was the name of the tool used to scrape dirt off the skin? List 3 other things that the visitors could do in the baths. So maybe you need to go back to this slide here to see what the other things are that they could do. Right, so today what we are going to do in our history lesson is you are actually going to be using the information you've learned in this lesson so far, and if you want to you can do some extra research. I'll add some links so you can have a look at some pictures. You need to design your own bathhouse. So remember, there's lots of things you need to include, so there are 3 main bathing experiences and all the other things you can do at the baths. So we're not going to be presenting them, but I will make sure I mark them, and you can definitely present them to your family. And I will leave you with that picture, but I'll also make sure that I have given you some examples of drawings of bathhouses. And when you are drawing, please make sure you draw in pencil. You can colour it in later, and you are labelling the different parts of the bathhouse. So let's go back to our success criteria that we had at the beginning. Okay, so I can draw and write about the different features of a Roman bath. So if you draw and label, that is drawing and writing. So remember, use a ruler to do your line out for your label, and then of course you can tell me what a Roman bathhouse is and who used them. So you can use that underneath your drawing. Just write 1 sentence or 2 sentences to say what a Roman bathhouse is and who used them. So what it is, 1 sentence, who used them, another sentence. You might need to have a little look back through the presentation, or you might need to do some quick Googling to find out. So in summary, draw your own Roman bathhouse using the information you've learnt, and I will put some examples on the assignment, so don't worry, you can have a look at those to inspire you. Then make sure you've labelled it with the special words we've learnt throughout this presentation, and then write your 2 sentences of what a Roman bathhouse is and who used them. And then you have finished your history lesson and you are ready to upload it to the assignment.